Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story.
Yes, both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story. Knowledge is power. Class is in session. Power 106.
We see then how far the monuments of wit and learning are more durable than the monuments of power or of the hands. For have not the verses of Homer continued 2,500 years or more without the loss of a syllable or letter, during which time infinite palaces, temples, castles, cities have been decayed and demolished?
Labor for learning, before you grow old. Learning is better than silver or gold. Silver and gold will vanish away, but our good education will never decay. Little boys, little girls, oh yeah, just take my advice and go to school and learn the golden rules. You will find out what I'm saying to you, that our good education will never decay. Little boys, little girls, just take my advice and go to school and learn the golden rules. You will find out, oh yeah, what I'm saying to you, that our good education will never decay. Oh yeah, that our good education will never decay. Little children, hear me, that our good education will
2021 to 2030 is the International Decade of Healthy Aging, the International Decade of Ecosystem Restoration, the International Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development, and the Decade of Action for Road Safety. It's the 26th day of the fifth month of 2021, the International Year of Peace and Trust, the International Year of Creative Economy for Sustainable Development, the International Year of Fruits and Vegetables, the International Year for the Elimination of Child Labor, and the International Year of Health and Care Workers. The American Hospital Association and affiliated American health organizations are marking May as Mental Health Awareness Month, Stroke Awareness Month, Arthritis Awareness Month, Better Hearing and Speech Month, Cystic Fibrosis Awareness Month, Global Employee Health and Fitness Month, Healthy Vision Month, Hepatitis Awareness Month, Melanoma Skin Cancer Detection and Prevention Month, Asthma and Allergy Awareness Month, Celiac Disease Awareness Month, High Blood Pressure Education Month, Osteoporosis Awareness and Prevention Month, Physical Fitness and Sports Month, Teen Pregnancy Prevention Month, and Older Americans Month. The month of May is being observed here in Jamaica as National Exporters Month, Child Month, Education Month, and Lupus Awareness Month. It's Independence Day in Georgia and Guyana, Mother's Day in Poland, Prince Frederick's birthday in Denmark, and Sorry Day in Australia. Hoy es miércoles, el 26 de mayo 2021, y les saludamos en cualquier parte del mundo que nos están escuchando en este momento. Estamos muy agradecidos por el don de la vida y el privilegio de servirles en otra edición de su programa, Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia. Nunca vamos a tomar su audiencia por sentado, porque sabemos que ustedes tienen otras opciones. Y esta es la razón por la cual jamás olvidamos darle las gracias por elegir Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia, de lunes a viernes desde las 2 hasta las 5 de la tarde, aquí en Power 106 FM. La misión continúa para educar, capacitar, iluminar y estimular el espíritu empresarial. Bienvenidos.
Gold will vanish away, but our good education will never decay.
C'est mercredi le 26 mai 2021 et nous vous saluons tous qui nous écoutez où que vous soyez dans le monde. Nous sommes reconnaissants du don de la vie ainsi que du privilège d'être à votre service pour une nouvelle édition de votre programme Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre. Nous ne considérons pas votre fidélité comme l'un de soi parce que nous savons que vous avez l'embarras du choix. C'est pourquoi nous n'oublions jamais de vous remercier de choisir d'écouter Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre, du lundi au vendredi de 2h à 5h de l'après-midi sur notre antenne Power 106 FM. Nous continuons notre mission d'éduquer, d'habiliter, d'éclairer et d'encourager l'esprit d'entreprise. Bienvenue. All we're saying is it's Wednesday, the 26th of May, 2021, and we greet you well, wherever in the world you are listening to us right now. We remain eternally grateful for the gift of life and the privilege to serve you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story. We don't ever take your listenership for granted because we know you have choices. And that's why we never ever forget to remember to say thanks for choosing to listen to Both Sides of the Story, Monday to Friday, 2 to 5, right here on Power 106 FM. The mission continues to educate, empower, enlighten, and encourage entrepreneurship. Welcome. Hello to those of you listening to us on 106.1, 106.3, 106.5, 106.7, and 106.9. From Moran Point to Negril Point, from the Goat Islands to Galena Point, this is Power 106 FM, serving Jamaica and the diaspora. Hello to those tuned in via the Power 106 FM app, which you would have downloaded from the App Store or the Google Play Store, depending on the nature of your device. Downloading is free, listening is free, whenever, wherever. We thank you if you are among those who have dialed a number to listen to Power 106 FM from the United States and the United Kingdom. Those in the United States who wish to dial a number to listen to Power 106 FM can call 631 359 8281. 631 359 8281. And if you're in the United Kingdom and you wish to dial a number to listen to Power 106 FM, your number is 0330 606 0953. 0330 606 0953. We're looking forward to your full participation. After all, it is your program, both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. Good afternoon to all the PEP students who sat the ability test today. We wish you well. We hope you get the results that you work for. Nothing more, nothing less. There's more after the break.
The golden rules.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:15.
Contractors and developers, Coast to Coast Quarries is having a 10% sale on all size stones. Coast to Coast Concrete has relocated to 5 Lady Musgrave Road and has opened a new plant at Somerset in Mandeville. So for all your concrete needs, including blocks and mild dust, look no further. Coast to Coast Group of Companies, expanding to serve you better. Call 876-706-3230, 876-754-7472, and 876-904-555527.
Everyday living, we make it worthwhile. Real people, real value. Oh, what a style! From kitchen to bathroom, a whole heap of tile. Home and things for everyday living. Nice up your home, fix up every room. Shop everyday, shop real value. Fixtures and faucets to catch your eye. We have the options, we have the style. Everyday living, so versatile. Real people, real value. Oh, what a style! Lowest price guarantee on everything you see. Home and things for everyday living, living.
Good ideas grow from informed decisions. Make the right choice. Sign up for Gleaner Premium today. Get access to additional news and information at your fingertips. Keep up with current events anywhere. Get the exclusive Gleaner Premium experience and pay nothing for 30 days. Go to jamaica-gleaner.com/premium to enjoy this limited time deal. Gleaner Premium. Choose to unlock more.
49 years later and still going strong. Under the Law helps you to know your rights and how the laws of Jamaica can help you defend those rights. The program is brought to you on Tuesdays by the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, providing opportunity, stability, and social protection. Under the Law at 6:45 and 8:55 a.m. and at 4 and 9:55 p.m. Tuesdays on Power 106 FM.
Little girls, just take my advice and go to school.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world, taking your calls on 876-922-4112, 876-922-4113, 876-922-4114, and 876-922-4115. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, but your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes. In fact, you can call us on WhatsApp. The number to call, 876-365-3346. So that's the text line, the WhatsApp number, and the direct line to us on this side of the glass in the studios of Power 106 FM, 876-365-3346. We started out this afternoon with an extract from The Advancement of Learning, published in 1605 by Francis Bacon. We see then how far the monuments of wit and learning are more durable than the monuments of power or of the hands. For have not the verses of Homer continued 2,500 years or more without the loss of a syllable or letter, during which time infinite palaces, temples, castles, cities have been decayed and demolished? Right, so some things will fade away, others will last beyond the material things. Let's look at some of the other stories, some of the stories that are trending. Of course, we paired this extract from Francis Bacon with Labor for Learning by Desmond Decker and the Aces. The Caribbean Examinations Council, CXC, has postponed all upcoming examinations by 2 weeks after being engaged in regional consultations. Those of you, maybe about 40 odd thousand of you who would normally, these are your essentially school exit exams, high school exit exams, at least up to fifth form. And there are the CAPE exams, which are for the grades 12 and 13. Take note that the Caribbean Examinations Council, CXC, has postponed all upcoming examinations by 2 weeks after regional consultations. The Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate, CSEC, Caribbean Advanced Proficiency Examination, CAPE, and Caribbean Certificate of Secondary Level Competence, CCSLC, examinations, which were scheduled to start on the 15th of June, have been pushed back to start on Thursday, the 28th of June. So the CSEC, CAPE, and the CCSLC examinations, which were scheduled to start on the 15th of June, will now begin on Thursday, the 28th of June. The story goes on. Council approved the delay of the sitting of the regional examinations by a further 2 weeks. This will provide candidates with extra time to prepare. Students, did you hear that? This will provide candidates with extra time to prepare for the examinations. Please, young people, take full advantage of the extra 2 weeks you've been given to prepare. Remember what we always say on this program: proper preparation prevents poor performance. The 5 P's. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Young people, please take advantage, take full advantage of the extra 2 weeks you've been granted to prepare for the examinations. The results will be released in the last week of September to the first week, or from the last week in September to the first week in October. So that's when the results will become available. In the last week of September to the first week in October. Please, young people, take advantage of the additional time that you're getting to prepare. The CXC Registrar Wayne Wesley, Dr. Wayne Wesley, says after careful deliberation and consideration of all the pertinent issues, the council, which is made up of the governments of the region, also agreed that the administration of all papers will be maintained. CXC will administer CAPE CSEC and CCSLC examinations in their original format. That is, for CAPE and CSEC, papers 1 and 2 and paper 3, 1. The school-based assessment, SBA, or paper 3, 2 for private candidates. For CCSLC, papers 1 and 2. Also, the deadline for candidates to register their intent to defer has been extended to May 31st. So you have parents and guardians, your children, your charges, those in your care, have a new deadline to register their intent to defer. In other words, if they want to skip this sitting, maybe defer until, I don't know, for argument's sake, January, February next year, they have until the 31st, that's Monday, next Monday, the 31st of May, to register their intent to defer, to say, well, I'm sorry, I don't think I'm ready for this set of exams. I'm going to sit the exams. I want to sit the exams in January, February, for example. So there you go. That's the information with respect to CXC exams. The other stories, let's look at some of the global developments with respect to the coronavirus. Beijing is accused of trying to block Taiwan from getting Pfizer-BioNTech vaccines from Germany, with President Tsai Ing-wen condemning what she described as Chinese interference. For its part, China claims the United States is spreading conspiracy theories and disinformation that the virus emerged from a laboratory in Wuhan, the city where the pandemic began. Dominic Cummings, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson's former top aide turned foe, told lawmakers that the government failed the public by not having adequate planning in place for the pandemic. The European Union has accused AstraZeneca of a flagrant violation of its contract to rapidly build up vaccine production capacity in the region, as in the European Union, as it began legal action against the drugs giant. So the European Union has started legal action, is taking legal action against the makers of the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine. Another bit of update with respect to the coronavirus globally. The variant first detected in India, that means another version of the coronavirus, which was first detected, or a variation of the coronavirus. There are so many ways to say it. But the variant first detected in India has now been officially recorded in 53 territories. That's according to a report from the World Health Organization. That variant, which was first detected in India, has now been officially recorded in 53 territories. Japan's Asahi Shimbun newspaper, an official Tokyo Olympics sponsor, called for the games to be cancelled in the latest sign of opposition less than 2 months before the opening ceremony. We'll see what becomes of the Tokyo Olympics. The organizers and the International Olympic Committee, the organizers in Japan and the International Olympic Committee, and our JOA, Jamaica Olympic Association here in Jamaica, are all ready and determined to have the Tokyo Olympics go ahead. The virus death toll in Brazil, sadly, has surpassed 450,000. The number of people who have died in Brazil from the COVID-19 from COVID-19 has surpassed 450,000 people. That's people we're talking. 450,000 people have died in Brazil from COVID-19. They're plagued, we're told, in Brazil by delays with respect to their vaccine rollout. And epidemiologists have warned that a new surge of infections could be coming. Can they take any more? Jeez. Our thoughts and prayers with the people of Brazil and indeed the people of the world, including right here in Jamaica. The European Medicines Agency will announce on Friday whether it has approved the Pfizer-BioNTech jab for 12 to 15-year-olds. The pandemic has killed at least 3,487,457 people worldwide since the virus first emerged in December 2019. The United States is the worst affected country with 590,941 deaths, followed by Brazil with 452,031, India with 311,388, Mexico 221,961, and Britain with 127,739 deaths from COVID-19.
And learn the golden rules.
Win more money with Lucky Play Lotteries. Play Big Pot, Super 5, and Dream 6 today. The time by Lucky Play Lottery is
2:30.
The Jamaica Customs Agency continues to ensure the viability of Jamaica's economy and has instituted several trade facilitation measures for the export sector, including processing of export declarations upon submission, removing the need for dock receipts, rolling out the electronic export manifests for shipping lines, piloting the AEO Exporter Program for compliant exporters, spearheading the electronic single window for trade, J-Swift project, and collaborating with other entities to implement the paperless exporter registration process and online payment services, as well as removing the need for licenses and permits from certain items. Exporters, we value your contribution. Let's keep the wheels of trade turning. Jamaica Customs, keeping our customers in focus.
Good ideas grow from informed decisions. Make the right choice. Sign up for Gleaner Premium today. Get access to additional news and information at your fingertips. Keep up with current events anywhere. Get the exclusive Gleaner Premium experience and pay nothing for 30 days. Go to jamaica-gleaner.com/premium to enjoy this limited time deal. Gleaner Premium. Choose to unlock more.
Hello. This Child Month, we're taking the Kinteet and Hot Bun podcast to the airwaves.
Make it a date with me, Amina Blackwood Meeks, on Power 106 FM for the tales the little ones love. Set your alarms and join me and my two friends, Kinteet and Hot Bun, at 1:15 every Saturday afternoon for the month of May.
Come for the fun, stay for the story.
It's Kinteet and Hot Bun with me, Amina Blackwood Meeks, right down the time. 1:15 this and every Saturday afternoon for the month of May on Power 106 FM. I'm going to look through the radio and see if you join me here.
Join us, won't you?
Little boys, little girls, just take my advice.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, taking your calls on 876-922-4112, 876-922-4113, 876-922-4114, and 876-922-4115. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346, 876-365-3346. Good afternoon to Ranny Bell. Ranny Bell says, good day, love your show. I'm from St. Thomas. Welcome, Ranny Bell from St. Thomas. Cherry Henry, good day to you too. Thank you very much for tuning in. Jennifer Stewart from Q Road in Kencott, St. Andrew. Always a pleasure to have you on board. Sylviana Johnson, thanks for joining us as well. Lorna Shelton Beck. Oh dear, you know what happened, Lorna Shelton Beck? I saw your message some time ago. That's why I don't like to check my messages unless I'm seated at my desk with a pen and paper in hand to follow up on those messages. And what happened, Mrs. Shelton Beck, I checked my messages while I was on the move. And one thing led to another and another. And before you know it, I just, that just got relegated. Your message got relegated. Sorry about that. Let's try and retrieve that message and we can talk perhaps after today's show. Sorry about that, Lorna Shelton Beck. Sophia Nemard, good afternoon to you. Thank you very much for your message. Audrey Smith in Southampton in England, good afternoon. Thank you very much. Welcome. Faye Weller, good afternoon to you too. Thank you for joining us. And hello as well to Vision. Vision says, greetings, teacher. Just checking in. So mark me present. Love and appreciate the knowledge you share with us daily. Keep it up. Doing a great job. You're very kind, Vision. Thank you very much. Lorna Shelton Beck says, no problem. Great. And Ricardo in Glengoff, St. Catherine, shouting out everybody as usual. A couple more messages. And in fact, let's go to the text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. Dervan, most people are not aware that many of the African kings were a part of the slave trade. They were in it for personal gains, also to use a means of getting rid of those who committed criminal acts. Therefore, it is not just by force alone that some Africans were enslaved. That's a pickup from yesterday. Thank you very much for your message. I'm not sure who that was from. Hello to Debisha, who's marking herself present. Welcome. Inez Campbell-Brown in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Good afternoon. Pleasant Wednesday, everyone, she says. Welcome. Good to have you on board, Inez Campbell-Brown in Bridgeport, Connecticut. We started sharing some of the trending stories with you just before the break. Can we wrap that quickly? Ground broken for new sandals, Dunn's River. That's another of the stories trending right now. Also in the news at this time, JMEA signs MOU with Agro Investment Corporation. The JMEA is the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association. Hello to Garfield Smith, who is in MKUK. Welcome, Garfield Smith. Jacqueline Simmons, blessing to you too, and good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. Also making the news, Cuthbert Flynn urges increased investments in midwifery. That's the Minister of State in the Ministry of Health and Wellness, Juliet Cuthbert Flynn, calling on World Health Organization member states to accelerate investments in midwifery. And let's see what the rest of the world is reporting. Colleagues fear after Belarus plane arrests. This one had to do with a former colleague of opposition journalist Roman Protasevich, who was arrested in Belarus after being taken off a diverted flight on Sunday says dissidents now fear for their lives. That's what the BBC is reporting. That's their main story. 8 killed in California rail yard shooting is another. A gunman has killed 8 people at a commuter train yard in California. The shooting took place at the Santa Clara Valley Transportation Authority rail yard in San Jose, California. That perennial problem in America, not unique to America, but it's the guns. Let's see what CNN is reporting at this time. At least 8 dead after shooting at public transit rail yard in San Jose, California. That's the same story. Same story that is trending on CNN. Biden orders investigation into origins of COVID-19. Chinese state media is turning on Fauci amid Wuhan lab controversy. Why scientists are suddenly more interested in the lab leak theory of COVID's origin. Pompeo-led effort to hunt down COVID lab theory shut down by Biden administration over concerns about quality of evidence. Why is Anthony Fauci hedging on the origins of the coronavirus? Photo shows Democratic governor breaking her own COVID-19 protocols. Those are just snippets of various angles on COVID-19 on CNN. And activist investor ousts at least 2 Exxon directors in historic win for pro-climate campaign. So that's a quick look at CNN and what CNN is reporting there. Let's do a quick roundup of some of the stories on the Jamaica Gleaners website. Well, we told you about the CXC exams being pushed back by 2 weeks already. National Works Agency undertaking $26 million retaining wall project in Shrewsbury, Portland. In New York, vaccinated teens can enter raffle for free college. And we got the breaking story yesterday afternoon, thanks to our good friend in New York who called through to tell us that a Jamaican has been confirmed to lead the civil rights fight in the U.S. Department of Justice. That's Kristen Clark, a longtime civil rights lawyer, now leading the Justice Department Civil Rights Division. A Jamaican, she was confirmed by the United States Senate to the Department of Justice Civil Rights Division. And that was, we got that breaking story from our good friend, our good friend Lester Hines in New York. He got that story to us just before, I think it was just before 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon. So that has made it to the pages of the Gleaner. Let's tell you what else is trending. Advocacy Coalition wants Campbell to step aside. The story is General Secretary of the People's National Party, PNP, Dr. Dayton Campbell, is being asked to step aside pending the outcome of a court case in which allegations have been raised about sexual misconduct. Also, 3 more COVID-19 deaths, 20 new cases. That's right here in Jamaica. Jamaica has recorded 3 more COVID-19 deaths, pushing the tally to 934. The deceased are a 43-year-old woman from Clarendon and a man, 83, as well as a woman, 67, from Westmoreland. Meanwhile, there were 20 new cases with ages ranging from 3 to 99 years, pushing the total to 48,101, with 22,425 being active. Of the new cases, 10 are women and 10 men. St. James dominates the new cases, with 6 being recorded, followed by Kingston and St. Andrew with 4. The country's positivity rate stands at 5.6%. A total of 1,281 tests were conducted. In the meantime, there were 147 new recoveries, moving the total of recoveries to the total number of recoveries from COVID-19 in Jamaica to 24,373. Some 171 people are in hospital with COVID-19, 45 of those moderately ill, and 14 patients critically ill. 7 people are in government quarantine, and 31,632 are in home quarantine. And those are just some of the stories that have been doing the rounds today, as we take the break and come back with more in just a moment.
Light up your life with a Brighter Days loan from First Heritage Credit Union. Get your unsecured motor vehicle loan or consolidate your credit card payments. The time by First Heritage Credit Union is 2:45.
You better stop, drop, and listen up.
For all your fire loss prevention and industrial safety needs, go to National Safety Limited. They design, install, supply, and service fire alarm and suppression systems and fire extinguishers.
They also sell PPEs, that's personal protective equipment to keep you safe on the job. Plus, they're your source for Timberland safety shoes.
Visit their website at nationalsafety.com.jm and follow them on social at National Safety Limited to find out more.
National Safety Limited. Your safety is our concern.
Hello, hello, hello.
This Child Month, we're taking the Kinteet and Hot Bun podcasts to the airwaves.
Make it a date with me, Amina Blackwood Meeks, on Power 106 FM for the tales the little ones love. Set your alarms and join me and my 2 friends, Kinteet and Heart Bun, at 1:15 every Saturday afternoon for the month of May.
Come for the fun, stay for the story.
It's Kinteet and Heart Bun with me, Amina Blackwood Meeks, right down the time, 1:15 this and every Saturday afternoon for the month of May on Power 106 FM. I'm going to look through the radio and see if you join me here.
Join us, won't you?
Listen to the story of the Jamaican diaspora on Diaspora Check-In every Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. during Both Sides of the Story with host Dervan Malcolm, the story of Jamaicans at home and abroad. That's Diaspora Check-In every Wednesday during Both Sides of the Story, brought to you by GK Western Union. Receive money directly into your bank account today.
You will find out what I'm saying to you, that a good education will never be bad.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Garfield Smith is actually in Milton Keynes. That's what he was referring to when he used the abbreviation MK. Garfield Smith. Good afternoon. Well, what time is it in England now? Minutes to 9 o'clock. 12 minutes to 9 o'clock in the night. Good evening to you, UK time. Good afternoon, Jamaica time. Garfield Smith and all the other Jamaicans and friends of Jamaica in Milton Keynes in the UK. Paul in Philadelphia, in touch with us as usual. Good day to you. Thank you very much for joining us. Norman Hines, good afternoon and welcome. Thank you. Good to have you on board. Michael from Belle Plaine in Clarendon says, good afternoon, teacher, to you and Power 106 family. I got 100 bags of cement. The workmen here are very happy. I'm very happy getting my work done because my family will be here for the summer. Thank you, teacher, to educate me always. Big up the planter family, Sean, Barry, and all my workers. I have 20 men today doing my decking. Keep safe, teacher. God's blessings I wish you. Thank you very much for your message, Michael from Belle Plaine in Clarendon. Yes, indeed, we have had reason to pass the cement factory a couple of times, and or the cement company, and we have seen trailers lining both sides of that thoroughfare, and leaving with bags and bags upon bags of cement. Unprecedented demand for cement in Jamaica at this time. And Garfield Smith in Milton Keynes in England tells us he is always locked in. That's good to know. Garfield Smith in Milton Keynes in the UK. Oh, good to know that you're always locked in. Let's see who's locked in on YouTube. Hello to our YouTubers. Lynn Bailey says, hi, Dervan. Pleasant good afternoon to you. Looking forward to your usual interesting and informative program. She says this month is Health Awareness Month, Dervan. So it is, Lynn Bailey. Jennifer Stewart says, sir, Facebook Live not playing. Really? Yours is the first and only complaint I'm seeing, Jennifer, unless that was earlier on, not sure. Courtney Thompson says, Mr. Malcolm, what about Grandma from St. Anne? Haven't heard her for a long time. Is she okay? Oh, that's a very good question. I recall hearing her, when was it? I recall hearing her some time ago. Was definitely this year. Some program, was it a program on radio she had called into? I'm not sure. But I was just trying to see if it's because it's been so long since she was in touch with us that we're not even sure we still have her number in the system. Let's do a quick check. Grandma, that was Grandma 1, right? In St. Anne. Not seeing that contact information here. But if you're listening, if by chance you're listening, Grandma 1 in St. Anne, would love to hear from you. Would love to hear from you. Thanks, Courtney, for reminding us of Grandma 1. He says, always look forward to her, to hearing from her. Always look forward to hearing her and her jokes. Rose McIntosh in London, welcome. Thank you very much for tuning in as well. And all the very best. Let's share a bit of history with you right now, if you don't mind, listeners at home and abroad. Some more recent history, and then we go back a little farther. Let's bring this up. Here we go. 1908. A patent for a process to extract wax from the rind of the sugarcane was applied for. The rind of the sugarcane contains a certain proportion of wax, which was hitherto lost with the refuse. 1 ton of cane yields 0.4 of a kilo of wax. That was 1908. Henry Moore, a Jamaican known as Black Harry, and who migrated from Jamaica to Australia in 1847, celebrated his 108th birthday with his first aeroplane flight, a gift of Howard Jolly, one of the pioneers of Australian aviation. Boarding the plane at Port Melbourne, having donned his cap and goggles, Henry Moore enjoyed a flight circling across the bay and over Port Melbourne before landing at the aerodrome after 10 minutes. At the time, Moore was probably the oldest man in the world to take an aeroplane flight. A man who took a flight in Scotland some years ago at age 103, or some years before that, at age 103, was then acclaimed as the oldest air voyager in the world. Residents of Montego Bay St. James applauded with joy as the Costas Coke car switched on the motor to start the electric plant, which provided the town with electricity for the first time. Montego Bay in St. James got electricity for the first time on this day in 1927, when Costas Coke car switched on the motor to start the electric plant, which provided the town with electricity for the first time. The plant had been erected by the Henriquez brothers, electrical engineers from Kingston. The service lines consisted of 2 high-tension cables running for 6 miles and providing lighting for the streets, public institutions, and homes. And the St. Anne also got electricity for the first time. The St. Anne's Bay, to be precise, for the first time in 1936. Electrical engineers, Messrs. Abrams, Henriquez, and Joy, installed a generating plant at Seville in St. Anne to provide electricity for the first time to the town of St. Anne's Bay, St. Anne. The government decides on Hope Pastures in St. Andrew as the site for the tuberculosis sanatorium, which was to be erected to commemorate the jubilee of His late Majesty King George V. Hope Pastures is a 120-acre property between Hope Gardens and Barbican Road. The tuberculosis sanatorium is today known as National Chest Hospital. And since we've mentioned Hope Pastures, there is a plant sale. There's a plant sale this Saturday at the Horticultural Society grounds in Hope Pastures. All COVID-19 protocols will be observed, and we'll give you more information in terms of the time. And it's free. It's a free event. Admission is free. And again, it's the COVID-19 protocols will be enforced. So wearing of a mask, physical distancing, sanitizing, etc. All of those will be in place. That's at Hope Pastures on Saturday. And let's come back to a bit more of the history. The Morris Knibb Preparatory School on Hector Street in Woodford Park was officially opened on this day in 1931. It was a 2-story structure with the classrooms on the ground floor and accommodation for boarders on the first floor. Among those present were Miss Marvin, a former teacher of Mary Morris Knibb, the principal, Altamont da Costa, Costas of Kingston, Dr. Oswald Anderson, Reverend Walter Brown, and Mrs. Kathleen Bourne. Having negotiated an increase of 2 pence or 2 pence per hour for dock workers to bring their pay to 10 pence or tuppence per hour. Norman Manley presented this offer to them at a meeting on the Kingston waterfront. The workers rejected the offer. They also insisted they would not return to work until Alexander Bustamante was released from jail. Sir Alexander was arrested by the police on the 24th of May, a public holiday which commemorated the birthday of Queen Victoria, who was credited with granting freedom from slavery. Also in jail with Bustamante was St. William Grant, whose name lives on in the St. William Grant, the eponymous St. William Grant Park in the heart of downtown Kingston. Agnes Bernard, the famous Aggie Bernard, sent a message to the dock workers who were on strike in Kingston, appealing to them not to loot shops because they are hungry and broke. Come to me yard and have some food, she appealed. Hundreds went to Aggie Bernard's yard for the whole day, in and out of her yard. Aggie Bernard, her sister, and neighbors had been providing the dock workers who were on strike in Kingston with free meals every day since the strike began. More in a moment.
You will find out what I'm saying to you, that a good education will never be.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3 o'clock.
Hose Assembly and Supply HAS is the best at what they do. They supply hoses, fittings, and tools. They guarantee they are unbeatable in price and quality combined. Branded by you as the hose and tool boss with the most effective industrial solutions. Come, experience the joy of shopping with the hose boss. Call 876-923-3936 or visit them at 173 Hagley Park Road, 2 Charlesworth Crescent, or Montego Bay Trade Center. HAS would like to thank their customers for over 30 years.
Poor roads a major concern? What about those drains that are in need of repair or cleaning? Who's responsible for repairing my road and when will it be done? Join us this and every Tuesday morning at 8 during Morning Agenda as we travel on our roads with the National Works Agency and get answers to these and other concerns. You're welcome to visit their website at www.nwa.gov.jm. See the tender notices link for projects to be undertaken. You may also call them toll-free at 1-888-429-5NWA. That's 1-888-429-5692. Or follow them on Twitter at NWA_JA and Facebook at www.facebook.com/NWA Jamaica. The National Works Agency, developing safe, reliable, and quality roads.
Tune in every Thursday from 11:30 a.m. to midday for Your Legal Corner with Dahlia Walker Huntington during Power Talk with Ronnie Thwaites. Email us at yourlegalcorner106@gmail.com. Call lines 876-922-4112 to 5. For WhatsApp and text line 876-279-8598. Join the dynamic duo, Dahlia and Ronnie, as they assess immigration matters. Learn about the filing process, when to file, and how to prepare for the move. That's Your Legal Corner, 11:30 a.m. to midday every Thursday, right here on Power 106 FM.
It's here, it's there, it's everywhere. It's OneSpotMedia.com. Watch your favorite local program or listen to your favorite radio station from anywhere in the world on your tablet, smartphone, or personal computer. Download the app now and keep up to date with your favorite local programs on TVJ. Check us out at OneSpotMedia.com. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook.com/OneSpotMedia, and subscribe now.
OneSpotMedia.com.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. standing by to connect with a couple of our guests as we share with you the story of another Jamaican entrepreneur uh, living in the United Kingdom and continuing to maintain business activity right here in Jamaica. And we are going to join our guests right now. Let's say hello and welcome to Andreen Lewis Longwe. Hello, good afternoon, Jamaica time. Good evening, UK time. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good, thank you. It is truly the evening hours in Jamaica, in the UK just now. It is truly the evening hours. But I'm great, thank you. How about you?
I am fine, thanks. Thank you very much for joining us. Uh, uh, Managing Director of Break Barriers Caring Hands. We'll come to that in a moment, but let's also say hi to a key member of the team, Miss Kayla Lewis. Welcome. How are you?
I'm good, Dervan. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Great. Thank you for joining us. So let's get straight to it. Andreen Lewis Longway. First up, some background in terms of your Jamaican roots.
Yes, I was born on the sunny island of Jamaica just a few short years ago. I left the island. I was born in St. Catherine, grew up in Gregory Park, run the streets of Christian Penn, jump over and scale the fences of Caymanas Park. So I'm a homegrown girl. But 21 years ago, I immigrated to the UK.
And how was it? How was it making the transition from Jamaica to the UK? What was that experience like?
Not easy because, usually when you're in Jamaica and everybody hear about foreign, everybody wants to go to foreign. But when you immigrate and you come abroad, you realize that it's not all bed of roses, there has to be some getting back to basics. And then if you're coming from home and you're not equipped, then it can be difficult. But, we give God thanks. We've been through the mills, we've been in the valley, we've climbed the mountaintop, we go back in the valley, but we continue to take it one day at a time. The lifestyle in Jamaica is so different to when you come and you live abroad. Totally different.
Right. And let's find out from you, Kayla Lewis, how you met Andreen Lewis Longway. Is this a long time friend? How did this relationship get going?
Funny you should ask that, Dervan. If you really check it, you hear the name Andreen Lewis and Kayla Lewis, even though she have the fancy long way at the end. We are actually family members. It's a family affair right here, you see.
I see. All right, so let's talk about what led you to starting this enterprise, Break Barriers Caring Hands Jamaica Limited.
Okay, we have to backtrack up a little bit if I'm tell you how. So when I immigrated to the UK 21 years ago, I remember I was working with a young lady, I think within about 7 or so years of coming here. And in the UK, home care is pretty, normal. We have the combination of home care and nursing home. But I remember I was working with a young lady, and she said to me, I'd give anything to go to Jamaica. Now, if you know Andreen, you do not throw her a challenge. So that for me was a challenge. That young lady threw me a challenge. And she said she'd give anything to go to Jamaica. And I remember asking her, are you sure about that? She said, yes. So the anything meant I got into action. And I remember planning this trip outright, getting permission, planning this trip, taking this young lady on this trip to Jamaica. And she had 3 fantastic weeks. when I got back to the UK, I said, I could do this for a business. I could actually do this for a business, meaning I would escort disabled people around the world because as able bodies, we can just get up. We don't have to think about how we go, when we go. We are reliant on no one. So we can just get up and do things of our own. But when you're disabled and you rely on somebody to do things for you, it's really difficult. And that's where the name came in. The name was about breaking barriers. It's looking at the barriers that limits and prevent such people from getting on and put things in place to allow them to be. So after I did that trip, I came back and I wrote this business plan for break barriers since 2005. And I remember I slept on it for another 4 years. In 2009, coming 2010, I started the organization in the UK, and the rest is history, as they say. So since 2010, we've been busy running the UK branch, which has been successful. Then after Corona last year, like Kayla told you, she's my sister. Again, when you're in the UK, everybody thinks you have money. So family members are looking to you for something. And I was like, well, you know what, guys? I'm going to teach you to fish as opposed to giving you a fish. So I took the business to Jamaica, started this journey last year after our first lockdown in the UK, which around June time. By August, the business was registered. And by December, we launched the project. And we're here today talking about it.
Well, this is great because one of the things we have been discussing over the years is how do we maximize the remittance dollar? How do we move beyond just taking care of the basics, food, shelter, clothing, and even paying bills with remittance money, as opposed to using a significant portion of the remittance money to invest in enterprises, to invest in development opportunities. And this is a classic example. I like the way you've put it, because if you're living overseas and you can say to your family here in Jamaica, I don't have a problem sending you guys remittances to help you out from time to time or to keep you going. But how about, what if I were to start a business, or collectively we start a business, you man the Jamaican operations, and we will deal with the operations in the UK. This is a model that should be replicated. And I can imagine how much of a better place we would be now as a country.
Definitely,
if we had been doing more of that. So that's excellent. So let's find out from Kayla. Kayla, how easy was it for Andreen to convince you that, hey, this is something worth pursuing?
Actually, you know what, Dervan? I'm not going to say that it was easy. It was an easy decision. I'm not going to say that. No, it wasn't. Because, you have your question, you have your doubts here. But what came to my mind was faith. Step out in faith, and then God will take care of the rest. And I must say, I have not regretted making that decision, even up to here today, speaking to you.
Right. So tell us now, Andreen Lewis, about the Andreen Lewis Longwith, about the operations in the UK in general terms, and the comparison and contrast between how you operate in the UK as opposed to how you have been operating in Jamaica.
So one of the biggest thing is that, well, there's a lot of major differences. So in the UK, while we have a lot of home care agencies, we are called domiciliary and nursing home. In Jamaica, we have most of home nursing homes and not domiciliary. That was a big contrast. In the UK, we are a regulated service, meaning that we have to operate up to standards. And I'll touch on the standards a little bit.
Sure.
In Jamaica, we are known for people who may not always look at standards. But what I'm promising to the Jamaica population, the same standards from which we have to comply to in the UK, meaning that we get inspected, we are rated, and the ratings are put out in public domain. So if you are not in good standings, nobody wants your laundry to be hanging in public. And if you are in good standing, then everybody wants to know about it. So the same standards on which we operate from in the UK, not because Jamaica hasn't got those regulations just now. We've actually sent a letter to the Ministry of Health asking them to look at these standards. These are the standards for which we are taking to Jamaica, that we are delivering home care services. So the contrast is that we are offering to our loved ones, stay at home. You've developed the sentimental values in your house. You've grown your children there. You might have been there all your life. Why pack up and go when this time comes? And in turn, we are affording, we are creating jobs in Jamaica. Not only for my family. I started with my family. Actually, there are 4 of them that are currently employed to break barriers, caring hands. And there's more to go. We're starting inside, but we are affording jobs to the locals in Jamaica as well. So those are the contrasts. In the UK, somebody might find your job. If you don't have a job, you might get something from the system. In Jamaica, you've got to work for it, and we're taking that to you.
Beautiful. Kayla Lewis, give us an idea of how Break Barriers Caring Hands Jamaica has been operating. For those who are listening and they're thinking, maybe they're in the UK where Andreen is now, and they're saying, you know what? I love this idea. They might have checked out Break Barriers Caring Hands in the UK and recognize that this is a certified, bona fide operation of excellence. And they're thinking, well, since we have Mama in Jamaica, and so is no longer there, and Mama getting on in years, you know, what if we were to get Break Barriers Caring Hands Jamaica to see to Mama's needs? Can you explain how that would work, Kayla?
Absolutely, Dervan. So we're saying that yes, you have Mama here, call us. We'll come and offer Mama this personalized care, tailored to your needs, right? So let's say Mama is she's mobile. She can help herself around the house. However, she just needs a little support. We are here to offer that support. So it's home care and support personalized to your need. We call it tailored to your
I'll
need.
let you say some more after the break, please. One moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:15.
Tune in to Farm Talk, 6:18 to 6:35 a.m. the first Tuesday of every month, and 6:18 to 6:45 p.m. the last Tuesday of every month for First and in the Field. Real issues, real solutions. Join the Newport First and team in the field as they identify problems and tell you how to address them. First and in the Field, Real Issues, Real Solutions is brought to you by Newport First and Jamaica Limited, the first on the land.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, the story of Jamaicans at home and abroad. Good afternoon to Cornelius Watson. He says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm, enjoying your show. Thank you, Cornelius Watson. Nicola in Mandeville, Manchester. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining. Angela in Toronto, Canada. Good to have you joining us here. Paul in Philadelphia is also greeting Angela in Toronto. Robledo Black Pearl Michelle says, good afternoon, Dervan. I listened to your program on Saturday on school nutrition. Do they still have nice and enough milk and the small buns in public schools? There's some kind of school feeding program still happening as far as we're aware with respect to the contents of the school feeding program. Now we're unable to say, but we still have school feeding programs. Inez Campbell Brown says, good afternoon, Miss Angela. Very good, says Cornelius Watson. And let's see, who is this now? Well, Cornelia says, wow, teaching how to fish. And that's in reference to what Andreen said earlier on. And workers are properly vetted. Yes, indeed, Cornelius. This is serious business. We're talking about human care. That's really what it is. And Andreen Lewis Longway, the managing director of BBCH, which stands for Break Barriers Caring Hands. That's what they mean. They mean business, and as you heard, they have an an arm. Well, they originated in the UK. And look at it, listeners, gather around the radio, get a little closer to your listening device, because the point we're making is what a classic example this is. A Jamaican who left this country some years ago and found a new way of life, so to speak, in the UK, had an idea, and that materialized in the founding. And you can look up Break Barriers. You can go to breakbarriers.com.jm to read and see and experience this facility for yourselves, even as you're listening to the interview. breakbarriers.com.jm. It's Break Barriers Caring Hands. And so it's, so you go to the UK, you manage to live a productive life in the UK. You have an idea, you start a business, and you are in touch with your family members here in Jamaica, but you go a step further. You say to the family members, hey guys, I have an idea. Yes, I enjoy sending remittances. I don't have a problem helping out, etc., etc. But what if we were to set up an arm of Break Barriers Caring Hands Jamaica Limited in Jamaica and have a couple of you family members be a part of the team? And that's, I'm repeating this and I'm doing it almost laboriously, but because I'm trying to get home to Jamaicans at home and abroad that there are glorious opportunities. And it's not just about getting the remittance. Oh, I have a this to deal with today and that to deal with next week, etc. It's about teaching how to fish, and that was the part that jumped out at Cornelius Watson. But anyway, let me stop the talking and allow you ladies to share more. So you were telling us before the break, Kayla, about the operation in Jamaica, Break Barriers Caring Hands Jamaica, and you gave the example of Mama in Jamaica who might be able to help herself in terms of moving around, but still needs some kind of support.
Right. And so we go into the homes of our customers to offer care using a care plan and a risk assessment to do this care. And I know that we mentioned that if Mama can move around and so on and so forth and help herself, but what if she can't? What if she needs help with moving and handling, with medication, with stuff like that, with her daily needs? So we come into the home to offer support based on the needs of our customers.
And what can you tell us about so you will, do you have a physical premises where you're able to do any kind of nursing, so to speak, or you're more mobile than anything else by going to the homes of those in need of care?
Right. So we go into the homes of the person. So we operate on, let's say you want a 24-hour. You want someone in your home for a 24-hour every day. We have that system where we come into your home and we stay the 24-hour every day. But if you only want a few hours out of the day, we are flexible that way. So as I said, it's based on your need. Because you have some persons that need more support than others. Yes. And we are here for that.
Yes. And Andreen Lewis Longway, how different or similar is the operation in the UK?
Well, in the UK, as I said, we've taken the concept of the UK to Jamaica. In the UK, I want to tell you that the organization that we started in 2010, we're employing close to 80 staff at the minute, and we've replicated these care plans so many times. And as Kayla stated, it's all about needs. No, we do not have a premises. The premises is the customer's home. So we are coming into the home and we are replicating it on a needs-based basis. So whatever the need is what we are doing. So what we are doing in Jamaica is what we're actually doing here. We do minimal services, or we do big services. We do 24 hours, we do 5 hours, we do whatever it is that the customers' need is. That's what we are serving. We are trying to meet the needs. We are trying to look at outcome for our customer to enable them to continue to maintain whatever independence they have at whatever stage they are at their life.
And how widespread is the service now, Kayla? Do you have all 14 parishes covered, or are there particular areas that you are working in now that you hope to grow and build out to other areas in Jamaica?
So yes, Dervan, even though we offer island-wide services, we are currently operating in Montego Bay, Kingston, St. Catherine. We are in Portmore as well. So we operate island-wide. We have island-wide services, but currently...
Kayla, you're leaving out Mandeville, man.
I'm cool, Mandeville. How could I forget? Cool, Mandeville. And you know what, Dervan? I'm just coming from Mandeville, so it's such a shame. So yeah.
Maybe you were thinking that you were just coming from home in a manner of
I tell you, it's funny you should say that, because this customer, I tell you no lie, she's like a grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
We go to her home, and the way how we rap with each other, you would think that we are related. I even got a half a jackfruit today. So yes, it's that relationship that we build with our customers. And just to add, we add this love, this spice. You understand? We relate to our customers. We try to build this relationship where when we're coming to your home, you don't feel like it's a stranger coming in.
Yeah.
You feel like it's a relative that you don't see from the other day come to look for you to help you out in your house.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's that energy that we bring.
And that's what I'm picking up, which is why I want to find out from Andreen Lewis Longway, how do you ensure that the quality of care and compassion and service is maintained, irrespective of whether you are the caregiver, Kayla is the caregiver, some other individual is the care, etc. How do you must really hand pick the people who you bring into your service?
So definitely we start with training. So we are looking for people who have completed the Highlight LK training in Jamaica. And then whatever the staff doesn't have in terms of a customer's needs. So they might come out with a set of qualifications, but we're looking at specification as per need. Then we then further give people training according to the customer's need. And on top of that, we have a lot of support systems. As I said, in the UK, we are an outstanding rated service. With the regulations here, you get 3 ratings. You get a good or an inadequate or an outstanding rating. We are an outstanding service here in the UK. So we can only be outstanding because we are doing something outstanding. We have to replicate this in every customer's home. And if you remember, I'm taking these standards to Jamaica. So the staff are supported to feel confident in what they're doing. You can't send me out to do a job if I don't feel confident. We also look at the staff's welfare, because if I am going out to care for somebody needs to be looking at my welfare to care for. So we try to do as much as that for the staff that work with us, to think about their needs as well and to coordinate that. I have not been in Jamaica since March this year. I spent the last 6 months there last year, left March, and everything goes clockwork with the procedures, the standards, and the systems that we have in place, which allows me to keep an eye on what is happening in Jamaica. Just like when I was in Jamaica, I can keep an eye on what's happening in the UK. We continue to work like that, and so far, so good. And we can only say onwards and upwards from here.
No doubt about that. How have you managed, though, with respect to COVID-19 in carrying out your service here in Jamaica, Kayla Lewis?
Fantastic question. Just like in the UK, you said Kayla, sorry, I'm overriding you. It's a sister, with love. Just like in the UK, everybody sat and watched how the UK has been battered, but the service that we've run in the UK, we've not had one customer who has fallen by COVID or a staff. We continue to respect the standards, the procedures, follow the system, and put in additional measure. So I make sure I take it on myself. All the supplies that are used in Jamaica are shipped from here in the UK, and we make sure that we put these into the customers' home, and the staff are equipped. They go in equipped. The staff are vetted and tested, and make sure that they're coming into people's homes. We are respecting that. So we follow the guidelines from the Jamaica government, but on top of that, we have additional things that we put in place to ensure that staff remain safe and customers remain safe in their own homes.
Yes. So you don't detect any fear then. Thank you very much, Andrew and Kayla. You don't detect any fear or concern because you do what you need to do to make sure you're all protected and healthy before you interface with your clients and potential clients.
Quite so. I have not had any incidents where COVID-19 is concerned, thank God, where my staff is concerned and with the customer as well, because as Andrew says, we stock up on our PPEs and we make sure that whenever the Ministry of Health send out any new updates and stuff, we keep updated with that. And if it needs to be for us to heighten our PPE measures, we do that as well.
Right. So tell us now, Andrew and Lewis Longway, how can people connect with Break Barriers Caring Hands?
So you can find us on any social media platform, which is at Break Barrier CH. And Kayla, I'm going to ask you to read out the telephone numbers for me because you have them there at hand. So at Break Barrier CH, and the web page which you've rightly called out before, you can find us on our web page, and Kayla will give you the telephone numbers as we speak.
Right. So hold the line, because just a couple more questions for you. I think in discussing this segment, I'd mentioned that we had Kids Connect at 3:30. I was mixing up the days. That's what happened happens when Monday is a holiday. So we don't have that feature. So we have a little time. So we'll come back to you in just a moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:30.
Become the hero on the scene by taking the COVID vaccine. Get vaccinated as soon as you get all the facts. Don't listen to the rumors. This vaccine might just make it possible for teachers to sit face to face with schoolers. This vaccine make it safer for everybody, from the young to the elderly. Don't you want to go back to living normally when things were more orderly? And if you want to live a long good life, then we all have to do what's right. So let's get vaccinated along with the heroes on the front line.
A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Learning is better.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. We are delighted to be sharing with you the story of Break Barriers Caring Hands, UK and JA. It's an extraordinary story and a classic example of how we're really supposed to operate. We always say on this program and our Saturday morning program that we delight in demonstrating what can happen when Jamaicans at home join hands with Jamaicans abroad. And this is just a classic example, the Break Barriers Caring Hands home care service. That's really what it is. It's a home care service for those who, for whatever reason, are unable to come back to Jamaica with the frequency they would love, or perhaps they family in Jamaica are lonely, family members, a mother, a father, an aunt, and the relatives are overseas. You know, that happens sometimes where you have everybody's away and only one or two family members here in Jamaica, and you need someone to check in with and to keep the company of that particular family member in Jamaica while you are wherever you are in the world, or just being right here in Jamaica. Some of us are quite busy and mobile. We're on the road a lot, and we have our family members alone at home, etc. And we want to make sure they have company. Well, here's an enterprise founded by a Jamaican in the UK, and she has quite a team, about 80 strong, I believe Andreen said, and here in Jamaica with family members, fellow family members, making sure that the quality of the enterprise is maintained and the service delivery, etc. And I wanted to go back, Andreen, if you don't mind. You had mentioned the person who said what she would do to go to Jamaica, who you assisted in coming to Jamaica, having a good time, and going back to the UK. Can you say a little more about that particular service?
We do. We still do a lot of that in the UK, which will develop to Jamaica. I've spent the last 6-7 years, I have spent touring the world, and all of that is escorting disabled people. I have done the Caribbean, I've done Europe, I've done US of A, you name it. I have been traveling with disabled people. That's where the concept started, with escorting disabled people. But part of it in the UK, it came on board when a social worker again threw me a life ball to care for somebody in their own homes, and that part of the business developed. So it's because of COVID why I'm not traveling at the minute. But we do a lot of escorting disabled people. People going on holiday, disabled people still have holiday. Elderly people still have holiday. As you said, we are busy, and sometimes we don't have the time to do it with our own parents because we are busy. We might be living in separate parts of the world, but we might be able to fund your mother, your father, your grandfather, whoever it is, to still enjoy holiday or to still have a service in Jamaica. So that's why it was set up. I appreciate that. I am living here in the UK. My mother lives in Canada. If she needs a service, I'll have to find it. Might not be able to do it for myself. So that's how those services have developed. I still do, escorting disabled people around the world, and we have the home care service where we come into your home. Or like the Isle of Jamaica is beautiful. There's a lot of people who live in Jamaica who've never been to the next parish. We can escort your family members to beautiful Jamaica to enjoy a nice day out, and right in the comfort of on the beautiful Isle of Jamaica. So those are some of the things that we do and we continue to do. At the minute, COVID has put a halt into international travel, but as soon as they open back, traveling, then that's part of the business resume as well.
And one of the services that no doubt would do well here in Jamaica, and you can tell us if this has been the case, Kayla, the daycare services, where in a case where you have a family who is living with grandma or grandpa living with the family, but the family goes out in the days, whether to work or to a lesser extent to school, unless they're doing online learning. But grandma or grandpa needing that care during the days when the other family members are out. That service is already being offered here in Jamaica.
Absolutely, Dervan, absolutely. And as you said, it has been doing well because, people have other responsibilities, and you have the grandparents or the mothers, the parents who are at home and they're retired, they don't really have anywhere to go. And while the other relatives are out handling their own businesses, yes, we do come in, and not just to offer household support, but emotional support as well, especially what is happening now with COVID-19. Many persons, especially our elderly, are locked up inside the homes, and they just need somebody to talk to. They need that companionship. Everywhere I go and I encounter an elderly person, when we come into their homes, they're so happy for our company, and they express how grateful they are that we are here to share time with them, to spend time with them.
Very good. And again, remind us of the areas that you currently cover in Jamaica for those who would love to experience the service of Break Barriers Caring Hands Jamaica Limited?
So currently we operate island-wide, but currently we are in cool Mandeville. I'll say that first. We are in St. Catherine. We are in Portmore. We are in Linstead. We are, did I miss anywhere, Angie?
I didn't quite hear you. So we hear Portmore, we hear Linstead, we hear, so we hear Montego Bay.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the general areas. But you're still not you're still insisting that you do offer services island wide.
Right. Definitely. If you remember, we are just coming to, we are not yet a year old. We've just launched.
Yes.
And because home care is not, it's a very new concept in Jamaica. I'm not saying it's not happening, but on a professional level, it's not something that is out there. So we are throwing it out there. What we are saying, we are ready to take over the island of Jamaica. And this great interview today is going to help us at that little bit closer to our goal, because it's about getting the word out there, letting the Jamaica public, the population, the diaspora know that there is such a thing on the island as a home care agency, and we can support your loved one. If you're busy and you're having to go out to work, we can come in and we can support them. If you live abroad and you need somebody to bring that, not only the professional standard, but also bring that loving and care into your parents' home, we are your people. These are the hands that you need to be getting in touch with. And as we said, we're in those few areas that we have talked about, but that doesn't limit us. We are ready to go. If you call us, we'll respond. Put it that way.
Excellent. I see Edward Boucher Jr. joining us from Paris, France. Bienvenue, Monsieur Boucher. And also Adris Pusey, greetings to you too. Cornelius Watson says, I am very impressed with what I'm hearing about these services. I will check them out online. Good luck, ladies.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. You definitely can check us out. We are out there in the public space, you know, we use social media. If you want to know any more about the regulations and the standards that I'm taking to Jamaica, if you Google from a UK point of view, an organization called CQC, which is the Care Quality Commissioner, any service has to be registered there, and these are the standards that we are taking that are already on the island, not taken to the island of Jamaica, which are already on the island of Jamaica, which we are already delivering the services from. That's what we will continue to do.
Well done in that regard. And just before we go, for those in the UK, let's say Jamaicans in the UK, and we have quite a few who are on board right now listening and watching. I mean, Lynn Bailey is right here in Jamaica. She says, these young ladies are excited business women, loving their idea. When my dad was alive and I visited him in the UK, there were some carers who offered this service to him in his home. Good job. So
thank you. We continue to do that. We will continue to do that. And it's right in Jamaica. So if you're listening to the UK, the UK contact number that you want is 07939122309. That's 07939122309. Or you can WhatsApp us from anywhere on that number. Or you can send us at enquiries.bbch@breakbarriers.co.uk. So that's enquiries.bbch@breakbarriers.co.uk. You can send us your enquiries on that from anywhere and we can get it. If you're in Jamaica, the local telephone number is 876-6396. So that's 876-6396. Hit us up. There's
hold on, check that number again. I think you're missing some digits.
Right. It's 876. Go on, Kayla.
Right. So it's 876-665-6396.
Missed out the 665. Sorry. So you've got it. It's 876-665-6396. So if you hit us up, we are there. We are there to answer your query. I've mentioned that in the UK we are 80 strong already. In Jamaica we've passed the 10. We're going in the 12, 14 marker for staff. So we are open for employment and we are open for business or trading. Hit us up. We can only do this with your support.
Or you have openings here in Jamaica as well?
Oh yes. So if you have completed or you've done some training with allied healthcare and you are motivated with the right attitude, a clear police record check, hit us up. We can see you through the process. If you go on our Facebook page, you will see the advertisement listing there on our Break Barriers, on our Care and Hands page, Break Barriers Care and Hands page. You'll find a listing there for recruitment as well.
And in the UK, what's the general areas you cover? Is it just the Greater London area?
No, man, I'm a Robin Hood girl. I live in Nottinghamshire. So we cover the Robin Hood. We are in Nottinghamshire area. No, we don't go outside. I am a Robin Hood girl. But the other services that we coordinate across the country of Jamaica, of the UK, is like the day services. Somebody wants to visit attraction from one side of the UK to the other, or people are going on their holidays. I can arrange that from anywhere in the UK. But the everyday domiciliary care, which is what we're taking to Jamaica, the home care, is we only predominantly cover in this area, Nottingham and Nottinghamshire, which is the Robin Hood County.
All right. And finally, Kayla, did you imagine that this is what you would be doing at this stage of your life? Was that ever a part of your plan?
Absolutely not. But you know what? We go with the wings. Yeah. And we go with the plans of the Lord.
Amen. Right. Well, we want to thank you, ladies. We want to congratulate you. Shining examples of how families should work together and grow together and develop together. I see Rose McIntosh in London saying, "Yes, sir, Dervan. I feel very proud of these ladies," and that seems to be the consensus all around. Well done, ladies, well done. We'll remind our listeners of the contact details that you've shared with us as the program progresses. But for now, we want to wish you all the success that life has to offer. And please keep us posted. We stand ready to provide a platform for you to get the word out there and keep it out there.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having us. And to all the listeners who have heard us, thank you for listening and tuning in. And yes, thank you for believing in us. And yes, you'll definitely be hearing about us.
Thanks a lot. Take care. All the best, listeners. We've been speaking with the managing director of BBCH. That's Break Barriers Caring Hands. Break Barriers Caring Hands. The website, breakbarriers.com.jm, about their home care service offered not just in the UK, but right here in Jamaica. There's more after the break.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
14 minutes to 4 o'clock.
Grace food drink, mix it your way, make you say it tastes nice, see? This versatile, just mix it. Grace food drink is a big hit, real good, delicious, and it full of up, full of nutrients, can't get enough. Up in the world, family, no flavors to choose from. Smooth vanilla, mix it your way. Tropical strawberry, mix it your way. Butter almond and mixed berry. Grace food drink, pistachio, give me some. Mix it your way. Grace food drink, mix it your way. Grace food drink, mix it your way.
49 years later and still going strong. Under the Law helps you to know your rights and how the laws of Jamaica can help you defend those rights. The program is brought to you on Tuesdays by the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, providing opportunity, stability, and social protection. Under the Law at 6:45 and 8:55 a.m. and at 4 and 9:55 p.m. Tuesdays on Power 106 FM.
And learn the golden rules. You will find out what I'm saying to you. nation will never decay.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112, 876-922-4113, 876-922-4114, and 876-922-4115. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. Let's alert you that we're scheduled to be in at the Tip Top Complex on Murray Avenue in Morant Bay, St. Thomas tomorrow. Yeah, we're hitting the road safely. We're safely hitting the road, part of the 2021 staging of the RGR Gleaner Communications Group cross-country promotion. So both sides of the story scheduled to broadcast from Tip Top Complex on Murray Avenue in Morant Bay, St. Thomas, tomorrow afternoon. We look forward to seeing you safely in Morant Bay tomorrow, Murray Avenue, Tip Top Complex on Murray Avenue in Morant Bay, tomorrow afternoon, 2 to 5. Both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. I'm actually excited. I feel like a child again, all over again, because we have been rather sheltered, and we are anxious to see what that side of the country looks like these days, because we haven't been there in a while. And as we said, the key word is safety, or safely. Whatever we do, we will make sure we are in line with the COVID-19 protocols. And those who will be passing by, please don't forget your mask, walk with your hand sanitizer, and watch your distance. Keep your distance. Very important. Looking forward to that. Unless we, with respect to those who have become accustomed to watching us on YouTube, I'm afraid unless between now and tomorrow afternoon, you are able to help us to increase our subscription beyond what it is now, then it means there will be a bit of a blackout on YouTube for tomorrow's broadcast, which would be a pity. But we're only at 594 subscribers. 594 subscribers. The goal is to get to 1,000, minimum 1,000 subscribers. Once we get to a minimum of 1,000 subscribers, it means even when we're on the road, you can still watch us on YouTube. Without the hitting that 1,000 mark, it makes it a little more tedious. Not going to say impossible, but a little tedious. It will then depend on what kind of setup we have on location. And everybody knows how I operate on a location. We are usually on our feet and moving about. And it's rather cumbersome to do that with a laptop, as we're doing now from the studios. So with your help, who knows if we can get to 1,000 subscribers before 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, then by all means we'll go live on YouTube from our smartphone, because in any case we're going to be live on the smartphone for Facebook Live, because Facebook Live is already compatible. It's already made for that. So yeah, I thought I'd throw that into the mix. Those of you watching on YouTube, that unless we have a minimum of 1,000 subscribers before 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, we will not be able to go live from a smartphone. And it might not be feasible or flexible enough to be walking around with a laptop in your hand trying to showcase what's happening on location. So bear that in mind, those on YouTube or those who prefer YouTube over Facebook Live. But definitely, all things being well, will be live on Facebook. So we have 594 subscribers at the moment. If you get us to 1,000, then we'll be able to take you with us when we go on the road. And as we said, we're excited already because we're missing the road. we're missing the road in more ways than one. But again, whatever we do, we commit to doing it safely on the roads and to playing our part in enforcing. Yes, you heard right. In enforcing. Not just adhering to, but where the situation calls for that, we ourselves will enforce COVID-19 protocols. Thank you very much. Let's see some of the other messages that have come in since the last time we checked. Dawn Bernard in Paris, France is with us. Bonjour, Dawn. Ça va? Dawn Marcia Bernard. She has a few names depending on when you knew her and when you and when you met her, etc., etc. And for how long. Yeah, you might call her Marcia as opposed to Dawn, or Dawn as opposed to Marcia. She says, Bonjour, Mr. Malcolm and listeners. Comment ça va? So she's pretty much saying, hello, Mr. Malcolm and listeners. How are you? Comment ça va? Means, how are you? And my reply would be, Bonjour, Dawn, ça va? I'm also asking her how she is doing. Oh, but I didn't respond to her. Yeah, so she asked, Comment ça va? Comment? It's spelled C-O-M-M-E-N-T. Comment. Like comment or comment in English. C-O-M-M-E-N-T. Ça va. C-A-V-A. 3 words. Comment ça va? How are you? And the appropriate response would be, Ça va bien, merci. Very well, thank you. Ça va bien, merci. Very well, thank you. Or you could say, Je vais très bien, merci. Je vais très bien, merci. So there you go, Dawn Bernard. You got your answer. Donald Webb says, road trip, hopefully getting back to normal. Now, far from it, Donald, far from normal. But whatever we do, we'll do our best to be safe. And we look forward to taking you along with us on Facebook Live. And hopefully, if we can get to 1,000 subscribers before 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon on YouTube, then naturally we'll go live on YouTube as well. Jamalian Lewis says, Break Barriers Caring Hands Jamaica Limited. Thank you so much for your time to speak about BBCH. Regards. That's Andrine L. And or Jajo Caraza says, Blessed love from out of Hartford, Connecticut. Welcome, Hartford, Connecticut, as they say in America. Connecticut, as opposed to Connecticut, which is, on the face of it, that's the spelling, Connecticut. But in America, they say Connecticut. Hello, Connecticut. Right. Let's see who else is messaging us right now. Levi. Oh, Levi has a lot to say. Let's see. Levi Goslin says, Good afternoon, Dervan. Long time no here. Long time. But see, long time no see. Hope you're taking care of yourself and avoid COVID. This is Levi Goslin. the living room farmer in New Jersey. I am in Jamaica 3 months now. I'm growing sweet pepper, okra, corn, pak choy, and I have there's a story I came across in the archives having to do with pak choy. Can I find it? Let's see, pak choy. Pak choy, pak choy. There's a story I came across. Here we go. On this day in 1969, pak choy, a Chinese cabbage grown in Jamaica, mainly by East Indians near Spanish Town in St. Catherine, is shipped for the first time to Holland. Did you hear that? We used to grow pak choy and send it to Holland. We grew pak choy, this Chinese cabbage, pak choy, Pakchoi, and it was mainly grown in Jamaica, mainly by East Indians near Spanish Town in St. Catherine. And on this day in 1969, Little Jamaica shipped for the first time to Holland pak choy, Jamaican grown pak choy, shipped to Holland on this day in 1969. That's Holland, otherwise known as the Netherlands. We shipped pak choy, this Chinese cabbage grown right here in Jamaica, mainly by East Indians near Spanish Town in St. Catherine. We shipped pak choy grown in Jamaica to Holland for the first time on this day in 1969. And we're told, the story at the time said, if pak choy enjoys success among Dutch housewives, it is believed there's a market for 10 tons a week. That was the demand. The demand was believed to have been 10 tons a week. One moment, please.
Go to school and learn the golden rule.
At Wellington Dental, they offer cleaning, filling, whitening, and other services for the entire family. The time by Wellington Dental is
4 o'clock.
Contractors and developers. Coast to Coast Quarries is having a 10% sale on all size stones. Coast to Coast Concrete has relocated to 5 Lady Musgrave Road and has opened a new plant at Somerset in Mandeville. So for all your concrete needs, including blocks and marl dust, look no further. Coast to Coast Group of Companies, expanding to serve you better. Call 876-706-3230, 876-754-7472, and 876-904-5555 to 7.
49 years later and still going strong. Under the Law helps you to know your rights and how the laws of Jamaica can help you defend those rights. The program is brought to you on Tuesdays by the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, providing opportunity, stability, and social protection. Under the Law at 6:45 and 8:55 a.m. and at 4 and 9:55 p.m. Tuesdays on Power 106 FM.
What I'm saying to you, that our good education will never decay.
¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 4:01. Quelle heure est-il en français? Il est 4:01. 现在几点了？10点01分. A minute past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you had a checkup lately? If not, now is a good time. Let's not wait till we get sick to get a checkup. How about that? Checking in with more on your program. Both sides of the story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaner's website, go-jamaica.com. Our colleague Dion Jackson Miller is in the news. Here's a story trending. Jackson Miller responds to critics of her involvement in incest case. Veteran journalist and now lawyer Dion Jackson Miller has responded to outrage that she was part of the defense team that successfully appealed a life sentence for a man who admitted to engaging in sex acts with his daughter. Jackson Miller dismissed views that her involvement in the appeal case sent a negative message to survivors of sexual abuse. The case involved Dervan Ricketts, who was charged in 2012 with the offenses of indecent assault and incest, this after he had sexual intercourse with his daughter, who was then between 13 and 14 years old. During the trial in the Clarendon Circuit Court, the child's mother made a shocking revelation during her testimony that she was Ricketts' stepdaughter and she was also sexually abused by him. Even more intriguingly, she stated that her abuse produced the daughter who was subsequently sexually abused by Ricketts. At the close of the prosecution's case, Ricketts was repleaded. That's a term I'm seeing here. And he subsequently pleaded guilty to incest and indecent assault in relation to his biological daughter. On June 22, 2015, he was sentenced to life imprisonment at hard labor with a stipulation that he should serve 15 years before becoming eligible for parole consideration. He was also sentenced to 5 years in jail for indecent assault. Both sentences were to run concurrently. But on May 21st, 2021, this year, the Court of Appeal reduced Ricketts' sentence for incest on the basis that the presiding judge had erred in relation to the sentence that was to be imposed under the Sexual Offences Act. The court also agreed with the defense attorneys that the sentence that was imposed for incest by the judge was manifestly excessive. Against that background, Ricketts was ordered to serve 15 years in prison at hard labor. The 5-year sentence for the offense of indecent assault was not reduced. Ricketts was represented at the appeal by attorneys Ian Wilkinson, QC, Dion Jackson Miller, and Lenroy Stewart, according to the judgment prepared by the Court of Appeal. But since details of the appeal case were disclosed, social media users have been infuriated by the decision of the Court of Appeal to reduce the convict's sentence. Further, persons have also been critical that Jackson Miller, who is well known for her current affairs programs on both radio and television, had represented the convict at his appeal hearing. There is a reason Dion Jackson Miller is so silent on this story. She was the lawyer who appealed the sentencing for this predator, wrote one male Twitter user. His tweet added, "My morals would have made me turn down this offer as a lawyer that tries to moral police every politician, and everybody should never ever be a part of a legal team that appeal a sentence for a predator that impregnated his stepdaughter and then incest." And this is a long story, actually. It goes on and on and on. Let's see. I'm trying to get to Dion's response. Dion Jackson Miller's response. Right. In a lengthy Twitter thread, Jackson Miller acknowledged that she was one of the lawyers involved in the much talked about incest case. The individual was convicted of incest, and we argued, based on the law, which is what is argued in the Court of Appeal, that the judge erred in how she went about imposing the sentence, and that the sentence was excessive, Jackson Miller wrote, adding that sentence only, not conviction, was appealed. She added that these are legal arguments, and the Court of Appeal held that we were correct on at least some of our arguments and upheld the appeal. Turning to the question of how could she have accepted such a case, Jackson Miller responded that this is a perennial question to criminal defense lawyers. You either believe that people are entitled to counsel or you don't. Sure, some lawyers refuse to take sexual offense cases, and that's fine. I have taken a few. I believe in applying the law, and as counsel, that's what we assist the courts to do, she tweeted. Continuing, she stated, the public may believe lawyers should not take certain cases. that there should not be right to bail, that every conviction for certain offenses should automatically attract a death sentence. I disagree and continue to share how the law works and why sentences are imposed in the way they are. In the same way that as a journalist, I ask questions even when I'm being pilloried for it, I do my job as a lawyer, even if the public does not approve. Part of what the rule of law means is that judges must impose sentence according to law, she stated. Jackson Miller went on to express the view that she was not sending any message to sexual abuse survivors by being engaged in the incest case at the appeal level. I was asked what message I am sending to sexual abuse survivors. None at all. This is not about sending a message to anyone, she further stated. However, the ability to appeal sentence is one of the checks and balances allowed by the rule of law, she argued. Jackson Miller also took aim at those who have been critical of lawyers taking money for certain cases despite the allegations. And by the way, the comments about lawyers doing anything for money, this was a legal aid case. Payment is peanuts and likely won't be received for months, she responded. Thanks as always to those who try to engage me respectfully on issues on which we disagree. I appreciate it. She concluded her thread on the issue. So that's a story that's trending right now on Loop News. Our colleague Dion Jackson Miller responding to critics of her involvement in incest case. It's a subject, not exactly incest, but what we have discussed on so many occasions on this program, that sure, we all have feelings, we all have thoughts, we all have beliefs. We don't like certain things, we condemn certain things, we don't, etc., etc. And so we take positions. But in a court of law, and DPP Paula Llewellyn likes to remind us of this, that she cannot afford to be led by emotions, emotionalism, by news headlines, by whatever else except the law. She must apply whatever decisions she arrives at, must be applied, must be arrived at by applying the law to these matters. And such is the nature of the court system. The system allows for appeal and challenges. So it is. It doesn't necessarily mean, and this is I guess some people don't necessarily make the distinction between somebody in their legal capacity and their private personal capacity. In other words, in private, yes, I might say certain things and I might hold certain beliefs, but in carrying out my duties, I have to be professional about that. And everybody deserves representation. It's not unique to Jamaica. Everybody deserves legal representation. Such is the nature of the law, that you are represented, and whatever the outcome, so be it. It's the way it is. So it's a matter of choice. You can choose what kind of lawyer you're going to be, or what kind of lawyer you are. It's up to you, quite frankly. And I look forward to listening to Dion this afternoon. I'm not sure if I was monitoring as usual yesterday. I'm not sure if she mentioned it yesterday. Was it mentioned at all? I don't remember. But then I might have gone on to do something else. But I usually listen, so I'm not sure. But I'll be listening out to hear if Dion takes says more on this subject later, apart from what she has already tweeted So just thought I'd share that with you, our listeners. It popped up while we were going through other matters. Let's kind of complete the story from this message, from Levi Goslin. So he spoke about pak choy, right? And that's when I went to the archives to remind myself of the pak choy story that I came across in doing the research before work. So he says, I am in Jamaica 3 months now. I am growing sweet pepper, okra, corn, pak choy, and I have enough of these to feed a district. In fact, I have given away hundreds of pounds of sweet pepper, and I still have a lot more. Mr. Malcolm, I cannot understand why we have so many lazy people just warming sidewalk in this country, not doing anything except to steal and beg your produce. Mr. Malcolm, I wonder if Jamaica government will give me a grant so I can be more productive. Let me know, Mr. Malcolm, please, who I can talk to. Well, you can talk to the Development Bank of Jamaica, the DBJ. They're on Oxford Road across from Emancipation Park. The Development Bank of Jamaica. There's also the Exim Bank. And you could always touch base with the Jamaica Agricultural Society and the Rural Agricultural Development Authority, rather. You've got options. In fact, you have Althea Mackenzie. Hello. You can give her a call. She is the queen bee when it comes to agricultural broadcasting and journalism. Good afternoon to our colleague Althea Mackenzie. Right. Let's just finish the message quickly. He says, "Big up yourself. I will see you soon. The yam crop was very productive. Still in Jamaica." And you continue to be safe in Jamaica, Levi Goslin. Let's go to the phone lines. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Blessings and good day to you.
Blessings and good day to you too. It sounds like you're trying to find your phone. Hold a moment, please. We need to take a commercial break.
Oh, yeah, what I'm saying to you, that I could education.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:15.
Become the hero on the scene by taking the COVID vaccine. Get vaccinated as soon as you get all the facts. Don't listen to the rumors. This vaccine might just make it possible for teachers to sit face to face with schoolers. This vaccine make it safer for everybody, from the young to the elderly. Don't you want to go back to living normally when things were more orderly? And if you want to live a long good life, then we all have to do what's right. So let's get vaccinated along with the heroes on the front line.
A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
49 years later and still going strong. Under the Law helps you to know your rights and how the laws of Jamaica can help you defend those rights. The program is brought to you on Tuesdays by the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, providing opportunity, stability, and social protection. Under the Law at 6:45 and 8:55 a.m. and at 4 and 9:55 p.m. Tuesdays on Power 106 FM.
Learn the golden rules. You will find out what I'm saying to you, that a good education will never begin.
¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 4:17. Quelle heure est-il en français? Il est 4:17. 现在几点了？4点17分。17 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you done your homework yet? If not, now is a good time. Good afternoon to all the schoolers listening to us, all the students from the early childhood level to the secondary level. Trust you had a productive day of learning today. Hope you also managed to get in some physical activity, just as important as mental activity. As we always say, young people, socialization makes you educable. Education makes you trainable. Training makes you employable. And the right attitude makes you successful. Homework time, young people. We see Orjajo Karaza joining us, saying blessed love from out of Hartford, Connecticut. Welcome, Orjajo Karaza from Hartford, Connecticut, or as you say in America, Connecticut. Let's go back to the phone lines. Hello, are you still there? Hello? Oh, phone troubles. Let's go to another caller. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Blessings and good day. I got cut off for the other one, so I call you back on this one.
There you go. The benefits of having two cell phones.
Yes, and you listen on the various platforms. Okay, Mr. Malcolm, yesterday I was a little disappointed. I was a little disappointed and I was a little amused when that gentleman called talking about back to Africa, and you seems to make a mockery. You seem, I didn't say you were. But
yeah, well, I can't take I can't take any form of credit or any form of responsibility for what you hear.
And you're right. But you had glass. Anyway, Mr. Malcolm, it was truly said by Marcus Garvey that a people without a knowledge of their past history, culture, and origin is like a tree without roots. But I will ask this of you, Mr. Malcolm, just for the record. What's your nationality?
We're not going over this again. That's a waste of time. Waste of time.
It's not.
We've done that already. We've dealt with that already.
Yes.
That's like asking. That's like asking. Is this Power 106? Of course, it is Power 106.
We said this already. That where you're born don't determine your nationality. It is then start.
What kind of ID do you have?
Now, Mr. Malcolm.
No, what kind of identification do you have?
My identification that I have is a passport.
Oh, and what does it say in the passport? What is the nationality in the passport?
The nationality is still Jamaican.
Oh, just check it.
And the citizenship.
As the lawyers say, I rest my case.
I'm going to give you a difficult situation, Mr. Malcolm. What if you were born on a ship in the international water?
Oh, all of that has been worked out by the professionals already. Depending on where you are, depending on where you are,
what nationality would they
in terms of the waters, because there's such a thing called Jamaican waters. There was a child who was born. There's a child who was born on an aircraft that was over Jamaican waters. So that child's nationality is Jamaican. That happened in reality.
I said, Mr. Malcolm, I said international waters.
What?
Your father was born in Jamaica and your mother was born in England.
What?
And the lady, international water. All right? Because there's such a word. There's international airspace. All right? Say you were born on a ship traveling in the water.
But I'm saying to you that can be worked out quite easily, and the experts work that out all the time.
All right, fine. What the established reality now? What is the established reality by law? What nationality would they attribute to you?
They work that out using all the coordinates that they normally use to work that out.
Mr. Malcolm, that doesn't make any sense, Mr. Malcolm. I'm just trying to point out something to you. I said they use coordinates to tell you what the nationality is.
I think you're perhaps not understanding the use of the word coordinates. Never mind.
I know.
Never mind.
I'm going to ask.
The point I'm making is it's already established globally. The world didn't start with you, my friend. The world didn't start, and it didn't start with when you reach the level of thinking that you reached. There are people who who have figured out these things a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
And they
Okay.
have been operating, and they're not going to change anytime soon.
All right. And would you say that they are right?
They have found a way.
No, I'm asking you, Mr. Malcolm.
Yes, they are right. They are right. They are right.
They are right.
They are right.
All right. That means if your mother was an English person and your father was a Jamaican and you were on a ship into international water, they would work for the Senate and tell you what your nationality is. That sounds sensible.
Any water, my friend, and you maybe need to drink some water. Any water. Have a drink of some water and come again.
I'm going to ask you to do this for me before I hang up. Why is it? I want you to do the research and see if you can respond. I will call you back tomorrow. Why is it that the so-called Western world swore on the Bible?
I'm sorry, you're actually sitting or in where there's a lot of breeze or there's a fan cooling you down or something.
I'm walking in the wind, actually.
Yeah.
Are you hearing me any better now?
Much better.
I want you to do this for me. Look up why the so-called Western world, especially the so-called Caucasian, in all their ceremony, in their ascendance to office, high office or low office, they swore on the Bible, including Jamaica. They swore. I want you to do the research and respond tomorrow when I call you, because I'm going to point out something to you that is undoubtedly true. Undoubtedly and unchallengeably true. But I want you to find out why. Because nobody has really asked a question. Why is it that the Western...
Nobody. There you go again, thinking that the rest of us are really silly people.
No.
We haven't a clue. Nobody has asked that question before. You're the genius. You are the genius who is going to be asking that question, because nobody in the history of the world has asked that question before.
No, Mr. Malcolm, not me. I said I was going to finish by saying nobody in my lifetime. I have not heard anybody in my lifetime.
You could have finished if you really wanted to finish. Come on, man. Don't play that. Don't play that.
Could you do that for me?
Don't play that.
I want a commitment. Could you do that for me?
Absolutely not. I will do no such thing.
Okay. All right. Can you tell me now?
You go and do your homework and come back.
All right, fine.
Go and do your homework and come back.
Mr. Malcolm, you're diminishing the value of the program by saying that, because I said it's to educate, enlighten.
Oh, be careful now what you're saying. Be careful that you are not contributing to the diminishing of the value of the program by virtue of your expressions. Hello?
Mr. Malcolm, you just said, understand me? You will not. I'm asking you, please. If you can respond to me now. Why is it that the Western democracy, when they are sending to high office, the presidency or prime minister or lawyer, etc., moving into a different position in government, they have to swear on a Bible, the King James Version particle of the Bible. In the court, they also do it. In the court, you swear on a Bible. I've been in the court and I've read. When I was about to come home, I've read from the Bible, and I see that it's the King James Version. Why?
Well, you come here to make a point. Go ahead and make your point, my friend.
Because it has a level of truth and sincerity. Mr. Malcolm, it's not just another book that you read like a piece of literature.
Oh, you just figured that out? Oh, my goodness.
No, man. No. Mr. Malcolm, come on. Mr. Malcolm. All right.
That's like telling us that the sky is blue.
Are you finished or finished?
I think you have too much wind. There's too much wind on your side. Too much wind right now.
All right. There's no wind now. I'm beyond a place. Okay. Mr. Malcolm, in the recording of the historical book, it's called the Book of Numbers. It's actually the fourth book in the Torah. Okay? Or in the Bible, what you call the Bible. All right. It says in the 18th chapter and the second verse, rather, the first chapter of Number, the 18th verse, and the verse number 2, it says, it is from your father. Your nationality is determined by your father. And scientifically, it's proven. It can be proven that the male carry both chromosomes, the X and the Y. The woman only carry one. So actually, you are 100% your father, though you might have some feature of your mother. Understand what your father nationality, all right, is your nationality, whether you're a boy or a girl. If a baby is a boy or a baby girl. Hence, the reality, why do they swear on the Bible and they take it for a religious literature? It's not religious. It's not a piece of religious literature, Mr. Malcolm. It's a piece of literature
who's starting an argument with you about the use of the Bible? It sounds like you had a conversation with somebody and you want to now come on air to take on that person because that subject didn't come up until you raised it.
If I give that impression, I did not. And I didn't intend to send forth that apology. I'm just trying to establish, Mr. Malcolm, there's a lot of things that is taught in school and in other circles, religious circles, and also pedagogical circles in the universe, in the school, are garbage. Compared to the reality on the ground, it's foolishness.
Oh,
that's what I'm basically saying. It's garbage,
but
Mr. Malcolm.
It's garbage to call. It's garbage to speak of. It's garbage. It is garbage. It is garbage. It is garbage to speak about something being garbage without being specific as to why a particular thing. So what you have done, so you have contributed to the waste.
No,
there.
I never said all things that they teach. I said most of the things. Most of the things that they
no, if you're going to go there, you're going to have to be more specific.
You can't use coordinates to determine nobody nationality.
Well, it's still being used, and it's not.
It's garbage.
You could scream until the cows come home. That is one of the ways in which such a determination is made. You could scream until the cows come home.
Yes, that's why the whole world lied wickedness. Wickedness and lies and mockery.
And you are not of this world. You are of another place.
No, I'm not.
So
no,
we are the ones. We are the ones.
In it, but I'm not of it.
We are the ones who don't have a clue, and you're the all-knowing being who has come to rescue us. Rescue us, please.
I am not. I am not. There is one to come which will rescue you from this lying, wicked, bitched, wretched world.
Oh no, and that one is not you. Oh no, that one is not you.
Mr. Michael,
what a disappointment. We need to take a break. One moment, please.
And learn the golden rule.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:30.
The Jamaica Customs Agency continues to ensure the viability of Jamaica's economy and has instituted several trade facilitation measures for the export sector, including processing of export declarations upon submission, removing the need for dock receipts, rolling out the electronic export manifests for shipping lines, piloting the AEO Exporter Program for compliant exporters, spearheading the electronic single window for trade J-Swift project, and collaborating with other entities to implement the paperless exporter registration process and online payment services, as well as removing the need for licenses and permits from certain items. Exporters, we value your contribution. Let's keep the wheels of trade turning. Jamaica Customs, keeping our customers in focus.
Tune into Farm Talk, 6:18 to 6:35 a.m. the first Tuesday of every month, and 6:18 to 6:45 p.m. the last Tuesday of every month for First Hand in the Field. Real issues, real solutions. Join the Newport First Hand team in the field as they identify problems and tell you how to address them. First Hand in the Field. Real issues, real solutions is brought to you by Newport First Hand Jamaica Limited, the first on the land. Poor roads a major concern? What about those drains that are in need of repair or cleaning? Who's responsible for repairing my road and when will it be done? Join us this and every Tuesday morning at 8 during Morning Agenda as we travel on our roads with the National Works Agency and get answers to these and other concerns. You're welcome to visit their website at www.nwa.gov.jm. See the tender notices link for projects to be undertaken. You may also call them toll-free at 1-888-429-5NWA. That's 1-888-429-5692. Or follow them on Twitter at NWA_JA and Facebook at www.facebook.com/NWA Jamaica. the National Works Agency, developing safe, reliable, and quality roads.
That a good education.
Diaspora check-in during both sides of the story is brought to you by GK Western Union. Receive money directly into your bank account today.
Give me that a good education. Labor for learning, before you grow old. Learning is better than silver or gold. Silver and gold will vanish away, but a good education will never decay. Little boys, little girls, oh yeah, just take my advice and go to school and learn the golden rules. You will find out what I'm saying to you, that a good education will never decay.
Que hora es en español? Son las 5 menos 26. Quelle heure est-il en français? Il est 5 heures moins 26. 现在地点了5点12分 26 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Do you know where your children are? Are they where they're supposed to be? Doing what they're supposed to be doing? It's a good time to check up on the children. A good time for us to continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. This is Diaspora Check-In. It's a Wednesday afternoon just after 4:30, and that means time for Diaspora Check-In, brought to you by Western Union. Sorry, we're trying to reach our original guest for this segment, Dr. Glenn Laman, not connecting at the moment. And so we have turned to Plan B, and Plan B is not connecting either. But Glenn Laman is very, very well known. And in fact, he spent a lot of time in Atlanta, Georgia. These days, he is in Tallahassee. And we made an arrangement to speak with him this afternoon because he has a new book. He has a new book out, and we're going to, well, you know how it is. This is show business. The show must go on, and go on it will. A couple of things. He also sends out a newsletter which details some of the happenings in the state of Georgia, especially in the Jamaican communities. And so we have some of that information as well. But we really wanted to talk with you about, to share with you, to speak with Dr. Laman about his book, and which is the very latest, but not getting him at the moment. But we'll keep trying. So between Dr. Laman and our alternative, in terms of our next option, we're not connecting at the moment. So we'll use the opportunity to share some information here pertinent to those in the state of Georgia, and I dare say right here in Jamaica and the rest of the world, because it's the virtual age, and a lot of these events are going to be taking place virtually anyway. The Jamaica International Independence Festival Song competition is, I think they're accepting. The response, we're told, has been overwhelming. Songs have been received from England, Germany, Canada, and the United States. And for those who would like to learn more about especially Jamaicans in the diaspora, who would like to learn more about the Jamaica International Independence Festival Song Competition, the link is on Facebook. The link is on Facebook, and that's, so just Google Jamaica International Independence Festival Song, and you should be able to find more information there. The application deadline was the 15th of May, but the submission deadline is the 31st of May. So it's one thing to apply, it's another thing to submit. So you apply by getting your information in, and the expectation is that you would then prepare yourself and prepare your recording, which would then be submitted no later than the 31st of March. If you're interested, just Google Jamaica International Independence Festival Song, and you should find the information. Check Facebook as well. The Atlanta Independence Rum and Wine Festival is also happening it's happening now, actually. It's happening now. Let me just double check the time. It's this evening. So the Atlanta Independence Rum and Wine Festival takes place. Well, they're hosting an evening of celebration and cocktail for the launch of their first annual Atlanta Independence Rum and Wine Festival, which will take place this evening at Premier Restaurant and Lounge, 6924 Main Street, Lithonia, Georgia. And that starts at 7 o'clock in the evening, this evening at 7 Eastern Time, which is 6 o'clock this evening, Jamaica time. And you can always visit AtlantaRumAndWineFestival.com. AtlantaRumAndWineFestival.com. And also happening, another of the events by the various Jamaican organizations. This one is called A Party with a Purpose. It's the Calabar Old Boys Association and Queens Alumni Atlanta chapters, inviting you to come jam at the pre-walk Zoom Fete. That's Friday the 4th. That's next Friday, the 4th of June, 8 o'clock in the evening. Wear your school colors, show off your walk bibs. We'll be speaking with members of Third World Band and jamming to music by DJ Drew from Maryland. So that's Calabar High School, the Calabar Old Boys Association, and Queens Alumni Atlanta chapters inviting you to this pre-walk Zoom Fete. I think we have can we try Dr. Laman again, please? He just sent us a message. So let's see if we can connect with Dr. Glenn Laman as he tells us about his book, the foreword of his book written by Deborah Earhart. Dr. Laman, good afternoon. Thank you very much for joining us.
It's good afternoon, Dervan. How are you?
I am fine, thanks. And you?
Oh, fine, thank you, sir.
Great. By way of background, as we like to do on this program, can you remind our listeners who perhaps know, enlighten those who don't, of your Jamaican roots?
Right. So I was born in the parish of St. Anne. I grew up in a town called Claremont, and I went to high school in Kingston. You may have heard of it. It's a school called KC.
Never heard of it.
Yeah. But anyway,
of course, joking.
so,
Yes.
yeah. But I've been living in the United States now for over 50 years.
Yes.
Most of that time was spent in Atlanta, Georgia, where I was, part of that community. One of the things I did there was there's a website called jamlanta.org that carries the events that are going on in the Atlanta community.
Right. And outside of sharing that kind of information with the community and your general community work, you have also done some writing. Give us a bit of your writing experience. How did
Right.
how did
So
that start?
at the young age of 60, I went back to college and pursued a doctorate in business administration. And then, so for my thesis, my dissertation, I did some research on Jamaican entrepreneurs. So they encouraged me to put it into a book. So I wrote a book called Jamaican Entrepreneurship. So that's my first book. How did that
do?
Yeah, that did quite well. It was highly well received and highly acclaimed, as they say. And I've given, I think it's reached some important people, who paid attention to what was in that book. And so it's done really well. I've seen they have it in libraries over here. I run into people who said, "Oh, my college, they have it in the library." So you get things like that, or people see you in the airport and say, "Aren't you somebody?" So that kind of thing. But since the pandemic, I've been doing some more writing. So I collaborated with Dr. Basil Kong, also from Atlanta area, and we wrote
That's another Jamaican, necessarily.
Yes, another Jamaican. Yes, Dr. Kong is retired. He was for over 25 years. He was the CEO of the Association of Black Cardiologists.
One moment. Tell us some more in a moment, please.
Okay.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:45.
Tune into Farm Talk, 6:18 to 6:35 a.m. the first Tuesday of every month, and 6:18 to 6:45 p.m. the last Tuesday of every month for First Hand in the Field. Real issues, real solutions. Join the Newport First Hand team in the field as they identify problems and tell you how to address them. First Hand in the Field, Real Issues, Real Solutions is brought to you by Newport First Hand Jamaica Limited, the first on the land.
Thanks for staying with us on this week's edition of Diaspora Check-In, brought to you by Western Union. Our guest is Dr. Glenn Laman, who has been sharing, well, he's going to tell us some more in a moment, but just some background on his work. And he has written a couple of books, and the most recent, or the current publication, the publication of interest now is called The Hero of Fern Gully and Other Jamaican Stories. The Hero of Fern Gully and Other Jamaican Stories, written by Dr. Laman and his co-author, Dr. Basil Kong. And you were just giving us a brief synopsis of Dr. Basil Kong. You said he was a leader. He's a leader of the Black.
Right. So
Sorry.
he was
ahead.
the CEO of the Association of Black Cardiologists.
Mm-hmm.
He had that post for 25 years, so he's retired now, and he recently was honored by the association for his, he got a legacy award, I guess, in California. Yeah, so he had also written a book previously. He wrote a book called Bad Boy from Jamaica. And so we had both written books, and we thought, hey, why don't we have some other stories we could tell. So the book has 15 stories, including
15. Does that number have any significance, or it's just
no,
a number?
My first book had 15 stories of entrepreneurs. There are 15 entrepreneurs that I featured in that book. So it just happens to be 15 again. So, what can I say?
Yes.
It's a magic number for us.
Yeah. And yes, go ahead. Sorry.
Right. So there are 15 stories. So, they don't take a long time to read. I know a lot of people don't like to spend a lot of. So you can read, in maybe an hour, you can read one and you'll be done with it and move on to the next. So, but I think people will, especially people from the 50s and 60s and 70s, they can relate to a lot of the stories that we're telling in this book.
So are these, how would you characterize these stories? Are fiction, figments of the imagination, or
right? So people might see themselves in the stories, but of course, these any it's just purely coincidence if you recognize a situation or a town or whatever. It's all fictional, of course, but it presents a different side of Jamaican life that probably most people don't see. So so we take you all over the island. So for example, one of the stories based in Fern Gully. That's the main story in St. Anne, and then another one takes you over to Lover's Leap in Southfield, St. Elizabeth, and then there's Christmas in Woodland in St. Elizabeth, and there's a lady who's trying to build a house, and there's even a woman who has a bed and breakfast in Ocho Rios, and you get to see the tourism from her perspective. So I think people will enjoy reading this. We're celebrating ordinary happenings around ordinary people in Jamaica.
So what determined the lead story, so to speak, the hero of Fern Gully and other Jamaican short stories? What's so special about the hero of Fern Gully?
So I think it's normally you hear about in Jamaica, you hear a lot of bad news. I think people in diaspora are always, you hear this bad thing, you hear that bad thing. So this is a story that sort of goes against that narrative, and it shows you another side of a Jamaican, and something that you can say, "Whoo!" It's surprising to some anyway. It shouldn't be, but it is. But because we know that the real people in Jamaica are really good and hospitable people, you may have a few people that create a ruckus every now and then, but those are really the exception. The real Jamaican person is a person of quiet dignity and perseverance. And so I think these stories will show you some of that Jamaican true spirit, that we should focus on, most of the time.
And how early could we give this book to a youngster to read?
I think any teenager can read it. There's nothing raunchy in there. I think your grandmother can read it. My mother read it. My mother-in-law has read it. So it's nothing to.
What are readers likely to give us a sense of some of the emotions, some of the feelings readers are likely to come away with, knowing what you know about the stories in this book, the hero of Fern Gully and other Jamaican stories?
Right. So you will be taken into these stories. You'll be in Fern Gully when it's pitch dark and you can't see anything. So you get a feeling what it's like. Most people just drive through, but that's a really dark place if you ever go there at night and with no light. So you will feel that. You will also experience Christmas, in St. Elizabeth, how it used to be. You will revel in all of those, in the excitement of a childhood in St. Elizabeth, and you will share in a woman who is trying to build a house, and the difficulties of building. I don't know if people remember, but there was a time when the landscape was scattered with unfinished houses. You see the steel bars sticking out, but people live in the house.
Yeah.
They would build 1 or 2 rooms, and another decade later they'd put another room on. And that was a thing. So this harks back to that time, where getting a house was a real struggle.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sure it's still a struggle, but people can relate to that setting.
Yes.
So there's that, and then of course there's the hotel, the tourist business. People think that tourists just come for sea and sand, but there's another side to it. And so you'll find out some of the things that happen to a hotel, an innkeeper. The trials and tribulations. One of the things that I can tell you is that I was taught. I know an innkeeper, and she had a hotel, and she told me she couldn't keep the cooks. Women would come from foreign and take them away. So there's that, right? So these are some of the challenges you have to deal with. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Marry them off and take them gone foreign. Yeah. So,
What a thing.
What a thing, yeah. It does happen. Yes.
So how can we get our hands on the Hero of Fern Gully and Other Jamaican Stories, Dr. Lamar?
Right. So at this time, it's available on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. So if people who are into ebooks and Kindle and all of that, they can have at it that way. We have to figure out how to get them down to Jamaica, since they're actually published over here in the U.S. But that will be coming up in another few weeks. We'll figure out how to navigate that distribution.
In the meantime, though, is there a way in which those right here in Jamaica and elsewhere in the world can connect with Dr. Glenn Laman?
Certainly, yes. They're welcome to email me at glennlaman@gmail.com. I think everybody has Gmail account. They can just email me and we can parlez-vous or
and let's spell it out for them. So it's GLENLAMAN
at Gmail. That's
gmail.com. glennlaman@gmail.com.
Correct.
Right. Well, we definitely want to wish you all the best with this latest publication. I would imagine that you perhaps are, having published this second book, you are still looking to continue.
Yes, of course. The bug, bitten by the bug, as they say.
Yes.
Yes. There's more to come.
we have no doubt. Well, we salute you and we celebrate you as another son of the soil. The people of Claremont in St. Anne and those associated with Kingston College should be proud to have you as one of their own. You continue to distinguish yourself, Dr. Laman. Well done, and all the very best.
Thank you very much, Dervan.
Good. You're welcome. Thank you too. All the best. Take care. Dr. Glenn Laman, one of the authors of the Hero of Fern Gully and Other Jamaican Stories. Ever so often we engage in discussions about writing our own stories, telling our own stories, sharing our own experiences. And this kind of work is priceless in the diaspora, especially when we want to, those of us in the diaspora who'd like to immerse our children in the Jamaican culture, the Jamaican heritage, etc. A publication like this is ideal. The Hero of Fern Gully and Other Jamaican Short Stories by Dr. Basil Young and Dr. Glenn Laman. Doctors Glenn Laman and Basil Kong, the hero of Fern Gully and Other Jamaican Stories. That's where we're going to leave this week's edition of Diaspora Check-In, brought to you by Western Union.
Diaspora Check-In during both sides of the story was brought to you by GK Western Union. Receive money directly into your bank account today.
Just a couple of messages before we wrap. Oliver Masters says, I are so amused daily by these callers who will call to debate Dervan's ability to reason, and only if they would learn to listen to the self than showing how bright, B-R-I-T-E, they are in being silly. Adams Waldemore says, blessed afternoon to you, Mr. Malcolm. Blessed afternoon to you too, Adams Waldemore. Inez Campbell-Brown says, just loving your introduction. Not sure which one that is or was, but thank you very much, Inez Campbell-Brown. And there are a couple more. Cuban in Georgia says, good afternoon, Sir Malcolm. Why do you entertain such ideology? We want to hear about futuristic ideas to help Jamaica get rid of the criminals who are making Jamaican citizens live under siege every day. Please and thanks. And Patriotic Jamaican in New York says, Mr. Malcolm, seeing that Dion is saying everyone deserves representation, I wonder if she would take a case to represent someone who's accused of raping her daughter, sister, or mother. If she is saying everyone deserves representation, then she should have no problem defending such a person. That's not how it works, though, Patriotic Jamaican in New York. But thanks for your message. He says as well, Mr. Malcolm, if a person was born in international waters, the person is the nationality of the flag the ship is carrying. Thank you, Patriotic Jamaican in New York. Pearl Brown says, sir, please, for this man and others, please let all Jamaicans are Jamaicans, not an African. There's descendants from Africa, but they born a Jamaica. They are Jamaican. A time for them to stop now. The Africanism, a mess them up very bad, says Miss Pearl. And a reminder that plant sale at the Horticultural Society's Hope Pastures location. It's 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday. 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday. Thanks, everybody. We're out of time. All things being well, both sides of the story returns tomorrow afternoon, 2 to 5, live from Morant Bay in St. Thomas. Till then, take care.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
5 o'clock.
News, comprehensive, powerful, and credible.
Power 106 FM now presents a simulcast of Radio Jamaica's News at 5.
Good afternoon, I am Deidran Gordon. Coming up in the news segment of Beyond the Headlines today, Wednesday, May 26, 2021. Students given an additional 2 weeks to prepare for their CXC exams. Adults urged to heed suicide warnings after 3 attempted suicides by adolescents in Manchester in 2 weeks. Taxi operators denied fare increase. Government backs down in relation to mining and quarrying within 2 disputed areas of Jamaica. In business news, gas prices going down tomorrow. The discussion segment of Beyond the Headlines with Dion Jackson Miller comes up after this newscast. The news is brought to you by Flow, connecting more communities to fiber-fast internet. Visit a Flow store to join Jamaica's largest network.